All right, so it's been a couple of months, I'd say, something like that, and of course, I've been a little bit lazy, obviously. I don't feel like posting skibbity toilet power scaling videos every day or every 2 days like I used to. But I have decided, I think it's probably time for me to maybe update my opinions a little bit. So obviously the elephant in the room, the new episode of Multiverse, right? Sinister, Universal, never. I've said a lot of things about Sinister. I've said a lot of things about the multiverse, and I've said a lot of things about the multiverse in general, right? Um, so what's changed with that view, really? Uh, I guess in a way, not much has really changed, I'll be honest. I still think Multiverse is a generally weak series, but I don't think they're like the weakest in the same sense that I used to advertise on my channel, right? Like, I think they're stronger now. I don't think they're the weakest. I don't think they're the strongest, right? Like, obviously, if we take the characters in general, that's what I mean. Like, if we take everything from the verse itself, then I'd say, yeah, they're the strongest. They have universe destroying moves, right? No other verse can really handle that. At least no, like, actual fan series, right? Or main series. You get the point. Um, but that's no, I don't mean like equipment wise, right? Because if we take Sinister at face value, physically, what has he done to get to even planetary, right? What has he actually done to get there? What has upgraded Titan Clockman done to get to country level? What has the new G-Man done to get to country level? What has any character in Multiverse done to get to country level without the use of outside tools? Right? Nothing. They haven't done anything. The closest you can get to that is Sinister thinking that one like, overcharge attack from the Clock Titan, right? But I don't care, HP recommends. But that's not a country level attack. It doesn't do anything to the country. In fact, it's literally just range. It has the range of a country, or something around there, right? Like, the already destroyed and disheveled buildings. Oh my god. The already destroyed and disheveled buildings in that area are, they're still, they're still there. They aren't like completely vaporized, right? Now, if these buildings were like they're already destroyed, and this is like a country level attack, as the people used to claim, maybe they still claim, I don't know. That's like, okay, even if we take 1 megaton of energy, which is way less than what country level is defined as on HBW, etc., etc., 1 megaton alone being that close to it and already being broken should easily vaporize absolutely everything. But if you just look at the scene, the buildings are still there. Like, they're more destroyed and like the area is kind of fucked up. But the buildings are still there. They aren't like vaporized. There's still a good amount of just buildings still in that radius. It's not country level. It didn't even like wipe out all the lights in that country. Like, it cut the clock energy covered that range, and it didn't do anything outside of a very, very small radius. So the Clock Titan still isn't that strong, right? He hasn't really done anything to get there. Okay, so I mean, there's like really nothing there. You look at the the other characters, the rest of the Skibidi Toilet or the Multiverse Titans are weaker than Clock is. Upgraded Titan TV Man's weaker, Pencil Woman's weaker, Drill's weaker, etc. etc. They're all weaker than the Clock Titan, and the Clock Titan's not country level. So if the stronger character isn't country level, how could the weaker characters also be country level, right? Now, I know someone, I'm not no names, but someone is gonna mention in the episode how they point out that to activate the time nukes, you have to be a certain strength. If you're planetary, then you can activate a planetary level time nuke. If you're and the whole purpose of creating peace with the time nukes was literally that. Create a time nuke so powerful that it can level a universe. And in order for that to be activated, someone has to have the power to, well, destroy the universe. And because they didn't think that at all, that's where Sinister comes in. And he screws with everyone because he can activate the universal level time nukes. But this is like, that's, there's not much to really go off of there. All it tells us is you have to be a certain strength, you have to be that level of power to activate it. But Sinister has done absolutely nothing to support, right? If he had the power to destroy a universe, then he should be able to just do it without the time nukes. Chief Clockman isn't strong enough to activate the nukes. A superior versions of the clock characters, the guys who made the time nukes, aren't able to activate a universal level time nuke. And yet, the chief clock from the main universe and like the sub universe or whatever, they they can steal Sinister away. They can use their power to seal and unseal Sinister. Sinister can't break out of a seal made by guys who aren't able to activate these like universal level time nukes. In fact, I don't think there's any evidence of being able to activate a planetary level time nuke. I mean, we know there's an obscure statement of, oh, we destroyed Mars or whatever. I don't think they even explain how that's done. We don't know if it's them who activated. We don't know if it was someone else who activated. Someone is clearly, of that level, apparently, allegedly, to destroy planet. But the time loops themselves don't even count as scaling because they're not destroying anything. They're accelerating time to the point that it just ends. If my memory serves me correctly, because I recorded this on my phone like the day after um the episode came out, and I just never uploaded it because I was too lazy. And here I am re-recording it on my laptop. And, I don't know, it's just better. So there's just nothing for Sinister being universal. There's nothing for it being planetary other than that one specific statement. And pausing time throughout like the galaxy or the universe, whatever, that's not a statistical feat. Once again, that's just range. It's the same reason that upgraded Clock Boys like nuke thing country level. All it does is cover that range. It doesn't produce a amount of energy to do such a thing, right? So yeah, no one in multiverses will, universal or multiversal, whatever the fuck you want to call it, right? So I think in terms of individual scaling, right, multiverse is still and war, right? But I think if you want to put it out there like a war, like the two verses got to a fight, then that's an entirely different discussion, right? Like I can't tell you for certain. I can't tell you 100% wars will win like I used to be able to when I uploaded these videos, Can't just tell you the Tri-Titan's gonna come in and speed blitz, right? But it's not because of him being outscaled by the characters. Literally just because of the time nukes being an odd case, right? It's like, can the Triadian speed blitz and murder um Sinister before he activates a universal time nuke and just murders everyone? Or can Sinister just activate the time nuke before he gets murdered by the Triadian? Right? Like, if we take out all outside equipment, like we just use what the characters have on them, right? Like hand to hand, sword to sword, whatever. Then yeah, the Tri-Titan's gonna take it 10 out of 10 times. But you add the time nukes in, and only the time nukes. It's literally only the time nukes. I can't emphasize that enough. It's literally only the time nukes that make this even remotely debatable. Okay, then it's just weird because we don't really understand the time, right? Like, so I think if you just drop the Tri-Titan and Sinister in some open field somewhere on an empty planet, and there's like I don't know, 100 meters apart when they start the fight, then I think the Tri-Titan's gonna take, right? I think if Sinister, or he like fights before activating the nukes, and I think Sinister's gonna lose, right? Because he's not activating the nuke, and he scales far lower than the Tri-Titan. So I think the Tri-Titan, I mean, I guess you can consider the illusions, but what are the illusions gonna do? They're just gonna get one-shotted too. They're not gonna be effective in tricking the Triadian or the Tri-Titan. I mean, I don't care about the other Triadians. Maybe they lose. Now, unfortunately, I am humble enough to admit, with the most recent episode, I no longer think Plunger TV Man would beat Sinister in a fight. I do still think he would beat the other characters, and I do still think he's scaled higher in general, AP wise. So, I mean, I guess there's that. But yeah, that's pretty much all I wanted to talk about. Yeah, I guess that's it, really. I guess if you want to debate it, then just I'm not debating in YouTube comments anymore. You know who you are. If you comment there and you say anything, I'm just not gonna respond. I saw your comment on the other video. You know who you are. Yeah, I know who you are, buddy. We all know who you are. We're not gonna say your name, but you know who you are, bud. I'm just not gonna respond because I don't care. If you're not gonna get on Discord, then I don't care. I've already beaten you. I've beaten your little buddy, beaten everyone. Blah blah blah. Festivity toilet debater. No. Yeah, I mean, yeah, you get the point. If you want to debate it, then get on Discord, gang. I don't care. I don't care about YouTube comment debates. I'm just gonna ignore you. Good day.